Hello and welcome back to another episode of No Flipping Excuses. My name is Michael Bredhauer and I am joined again by Jason Palliser. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I had to, it's cold in the studio. I had to put the long sleeve shirt back on.
It is a little chilly down there. I have my space heater over there, but it's turned off. But more importantly, many of you are probably asking, Mike, why do you have your hands precariously placed down like that? I know Jason's been staring at him for a while, trying to figure out what's coming at him. Am I right?
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, we've been doing some fun stuff where we take suggestions from you as subscribers and questions or things that you want us to talk about. And so we would just pick it. Mike's been having me pick at random, or he picks at random. And this time he's like, I've got a doozy. I got a doozy for you. So I truly, honestly do not know what's coming. Knows. But he's like, but this is the first time he's like told me to pick from like A or B.
So this time I've got two, one under each hand.
And by the way, subscribe.
Yes.
We're having fun here. We're teaching you real estate, but we're trying to have fun with it. But go ahead. So what am I doing here?
Okay. So for those of you out there, for you to have some input on this, all you need to do is subscribe, like you said, but then drop a comment sometime throughout this episode, and your comment might end up on one of these sheets. And what Jason's going to do, he's going to pick one. He's either going to pick the one in my right hand or the one in my left hand. And on it is going to be a question, a topic that we're going to talk about today, something he has known nothing about, but something that one of you have written down in the comments section. So, Jason, which one's going to be?
He's got a weird look, so I'm kind of like...
My right hand or my left hand? Which one's going to be?
I want to say left because I'm left-handed. But I think you're trying to trick me, so I'll go right hand.
Okay.
So I will go with right hand. Instead of you picking it out of a hat, I had an A or B choice. So I guess we'll see what we're going to talk about, I guess.
Right hand.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I feel like maybe not as good as the other one. How not to invest in real estate in 2024? We have a user out there who's concerned about making some mistakes, as many of us may be, and they want to do what not to do in 2024.
Okay, so how not to?
That was what was the question that was in the right hand. That's the one.
Why you looked weird? Like what was in the left hand? Like,
well, it was how to give your stressed out co-host a nice back massage. But I guess we'll stick with the right hand. Whatever.
Are you serious?
I don't need a back massage. Well, let's learn how not to invest in real estate in 2024. I don't need a massage.
I kind of wish I picked the left hand now.
I kind of wish you did too, but here we are.
That would be a different YouTube channel, folks.
Everybody would be disappointed if we didn't stick to the rules. So
okay, fair enough. Okay, so give me the question again.
Okay, so for everybody out there, one last time, we have a user that wants to know how not to invest in real estate in 2024. Avoid some pitfalls and do it the right way.
Okay, so how not to. Okay, so again, I'm racking my brain because these are off the cuff. So how not to invest in 2024. So here's what I would tell you. Okay, so here's something to digest. Okay. So been doing this for 25 plus years, thousands of people trained. I've had a couple market cycles where things go up and down. So if the question is how not to, here's one thing that I would be just very conscious of to help put yourself in a position to win. Since the market goes up, down, interest rates, inflation, all the stuff that's going on in the marketplace, there's lots of different types of real estate investment transactions that you can do or ways that you can approach it. So here's one thing that I would tell you to be very, very careful of right now in the marketplace. I would say, I think that's a polite way to say it. And
you're going to be polite?
Very rare.
Okay.
Because you told me I can't say bad words or we get bleeped and stuff like that.
I did give him some guidelines. So
So having said that, here's one thing that I would tell you to be cautious of. No matter what type of real estate you want to do, most of us over time want to diversify and do different things. If you're in the marketplace to where you're looking to potentially get some properties for buy and hold, what I would tell you to kind of be conscious of is that right now in 2024, interest rates are higher. So it's going to be harder to cash flow property. So what not to do in 2024, Maybe if you're looking for a property to acquire is go to get regular financing. Okay. Because right now in the marketplace, your mid eights, upper eights, maybe even approaching 9 on an investment property, depending on what type of property it is. Is it a single family, 2-family, 4-family, multifamily? But I'll set that aside for a second. So here's something that you might not want to do. You might not want to get an asset the regular way. Okay. Again, these questions come to me. I don't know what's coming, so I'm just kind of racking my brain on it. So what you might not want to do is this. Go get a regular loan on an investment property at a higher interest rate. It's going to be harder to cash flow that asset, right? So if that's something not to do, I always like to, see both sides of the coin here and teach from that perspective. If I'm telling you not to do that, then what could I tell you to do? Well, hey, Jason, I still want to get an asset. Yes, I know it's going to be a lot tougher in the marketplace right now, given the economic environment. So what do I do? Hey, while you're learning, stop for a second and get the book, The Art of Flipping Deals. Here's how easy it is. Just go to the website, theflippingbook.com. And what you're going to have is an instant download on how we flip deal after deal after deal with predictability that others can't find. So instead of just doing it the traditional way, here's 2 things you could do. And again, I'm just going off of what the question was. So here's 2 things you could do. 1, look for somebody that's distressed where you can take over their financing. Okay. So you still get to the same finish line, which you have an asset that you control that you're looking to keep for cash flow and other taxable benefits for owning real estate long-term, right? But instead of just getting regular financing on it at a higher interest rate, find somebody that wants to some way, shape, or form get out of the responsibility of their property and strike a deal with them and take over their financing. Here's why. If you, and again, if I'm teaching you right now, what you could do is go back to, you can pull data, right? So you could pull data for any area that you're going after and look for homeowners that have owned their houses for 3 years to 7 years, because that's when the interest rates were smoking hot. And you can find somebody that needs some help, because now you can cross-reference that same list with tax delinquents, code violations, right? So now I can take this sample size of people that have owned at this particular time frame and then go in and cross-reference the list with other different motivating factors and find some people where you can take over their property where they have good interest rates. Because in those time frames, I'm willing to bet you people had a sometimes in the 2, but 3, 4, and 5% interest rate. That is half of what you could get in the marketplace right now from a financing perspective. So what not to do in 2024? You may want to steer clear of getting regular financing at a higher interest rate. That's one way you could not do something, but then still get to the finish line the way that you want. Here's a second thing that you could do. And again, generally the marketplace doesn't know that. And I'll qualify this statement by saying, hey, how I started my speaking career with some of the TV show brands and the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and they hired me for my funding expertise. I was a banker for 28 years, and I specifically worked on investment financing and funding. Okay. And so another thing that you could do, which most investors in the marketplace don't know that you can do to get better financing. So those interest rates that I just mentioned, 8.5, 8.75, 9, you can get a better interest rate the more money you put down, right? So what you can do potentially is just put more money down and get better financing. That would be something to do. Okay. The second thing you could do is partner with another investor, and they can come in as a financial partner with a little bit more money down and get a better interest rate. So one thing I'd caution you on doing in today's marketplace is, if you're going to get some assets that you want to keep, just be real conscious that the interest rates are going to be higher, right? So I just gave you a couple different ways to get a lower interest rate on that. Here's another thing that I would caution you not to do. And this is totally separate than what I was just talking about, because again, this question, I don't know what question's coming. So if I'm racking my brain on other things that I wouldn't like you to do, and it has less to do with 2024 and more to do with just as a business practice in general. If you're just getting started and you're looking to make chunks of money fast, most investors choose, out of all the different ways that we can close a deal, they would choose wholesaling. Okay. So one thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Jason, why choose wholesaling? I mean, a lot of investors are thinking, well, should I be a wholesaler? Because part of the question is maybe I shouldn't wholesale in 2024. Why is that such a good thing to do in 2024?
Well, here's why. Because there's a lot of people in distress. Over the past 3 years or so, with all the pandemic stuff going on, there was all these new rules that were put in place, like you can't foreclose on somebody because they're in financial strife. We can't. We're not going to do any tax sales because people have had some problems. Well, all those things are being lifted. So there's going to be, and you can look it up online. Just pre-foreclosures, people haven't made their house payment, has been creeping up month over month over month. So it's a good time to sharpen the sword and get good at getting to the motivated sellers first and creating a win-win with them and help them out and make good money doing it. So if you're going to wholesale, here's something I wouldn't do though. Okay. So again, in the spirit of the question, what's something that I would not do? Here's your reputation is everything. And I think, I'm trying to think of who it was. I think it was Warren Buffett. He goes, it takes 20 years to build a reputation, 5 minutes to ruin it. So here's something that I would tell you not to do in 2024 or any subsequent year. Don't get a bad reputation in the marketplace from this standpoint if you're just getting started and you want to wholesale, okay? This goes for other aspects of the business, but specifically wholesaling. Here's the fastest way to get a bad reputation. You're getting started. You just scramble your butt off to try and get a deal under contract, and you inflate the end value that you think when you go to offer it out to other people in the marketplace, and you decrease the amount of fix-up. So let's say at a glance, the house might be worth 150, maybe 200. You say it's worth 200, even though you could say it's worth 150, potentially 200. And then on the back end, you looked at the house and it needs a new roof, kitchen cabinets, some updating, paint, carpet, this, that, and the other. You're like, hey, I think it needs 10 grand in fix up, when really it needs 40. So if I'm telling you what not to do in 2024, it's ruin your reputation by overinflating the end value and decreasing the amount of work that needs to be fixed, because that will bleed through the entire marketplace super fast. You get one chance with most of these people that have been doing it a long time. So I don't want you to fall into that category where people label you as, oh, here comes another deal from insert your name.
The big fat liar.
Yeah. Big fat stinky liar. Like that. I literally don't like.
No, don't be that guy.
And we're saying it that way because, again, I get instructed all the time not to say bad words when I get all juiced up, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, because I'll have to cut it out, so don't.
Yeah. Create more
work for me. I didn't get the back massage. Come on, at least don't make me edit more.
You're really working on the back massage, aren't you?
You just pick that one next.
You know my weakness. Just give me some Cheez-Its.
This one's gone, so this is the only one
left. Give me some
left.
Cheez-Its and we'll discuss it.
I'll put a little Cheez-It on there. You'll grab it.
But anyways, back to the topic at hand. There's two things based upon the questions that came in. There's two things that I would tell you not to do in the marketplace to help strengthen your real estate investment business and just the way that you operate given the market pressures. So that's what I would tell you to do. So if you like this information, then just simply subscribe, because we got more good stuff coming. And we would love for you. The ultimate form of flattery is, can you share the channel with other investors? And then, as always, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. We'll answer them and develop another list of questions. But then even more important to me is that if some of the things, like I'm quite certain this probably isn't the first video you watched, okay, that we put out. So if that's the case, schedule a call with us so that we can talk to you about your business. So just simply go to the links that we provide for you, schedule a call. 99% of you that schedule a call will end up probably talking to me, okay? 95%. The only way you're not talking to me is if I'm on vacation or in flight.
Yep. And while you're waiting to have your call, watch this video again. Do not do any of the things that Jason Palliser told you to do. Do go down there, make a comment about your question so we can write it on there. And please, the more of you that post, please give the co-host Mike a back massage. The more chances it'll pop up in both hands, and he won't have a choice. He'll have to do it. So thanks again.
I was surprised he didn't give me just one hand to choose from if that was the case.
Well, next time, right? So thanks again. Thanks to the listeners and the viewers for writing your comments and your questions. We look forward to answering your next one on the upcoming video. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Hey, here's what I want you to do. Let's take your learning to another level. I know you have questions, so schedule a call with me. Go to 2daycall.com, fill out a form, and get on my calendar so I can help you start closing deal after deal and answer all your questions to put you on a path to predictable closings.